You miss it when you don't hear it every once in a while. It's a refreshing. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Best/Worst podcast. We are back in business with four of us here today. We have Mason, Joey, Sarah, and myself, Kurt. Since I think we're all eternally hungry in this group, we figure why not go back to that well again. And so today we're gonna dig in both literally and figuratively to snacks, because that's a whole kind of genre into itself in the food realm. Obviously, we've talked fast food on the original, the OG, but snacks is a whole world into itself where there's probably different. I know we got to figure out kind of what are the parameters. I was thinking about this. We got to figure out what's going to qualify under the snack label.
Yeah, I feel like this episode could end up being broken up into like multiple episodes. Like, just think of like just chips could be like a whole discussion in of itself. So I mean, I don't, I don't want to get
genre of salty snacks, which is
so it's like
subgenre.
It could be mind blowing, guys. I don't know. There's a lot to cover here. That's all I can say.
I feel like I could do an episode about kettle chips, like just like a specific brand of chips.
Kettle, I mean, like
Tim's.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim's just flies off. Just the first thing that comes off. Tim's kettle chips are my favorites. Those are awesome.
This is a kettle chip podcast now.
Yeah, exactly. So should we discuss parameters? Is there? Should we set up some parameters for snacks? Are we talking?
Well, yeah. I think it's something that you generally could have like in between a meal. I think there's lots of things that could fit under that, but wouldn't necessarily qualify as a meal into itself.
Perfect.
So you can't use the chicken Super Bowl because that would be a meal in itself. So that doesn't compliance.
Damn it!
Okay, I
there goes my list.
That piece.
There goes my list. All my preparation
could have been considered a snack, but yeah, okay, good to know. So that helps.
So maybe we should just start with some of the best. I mean, what are some of the best snacks that just? Sorry.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does candy count as a snack?
Sure.
Is candy a different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Candy counts as a snack. Okay.
I mean, should we? Can we just say? Can we say just any snack that's processed?
I'm with Sarah.
What about any processed snack? Any snack in a bag that you have to tear open? Any snack that it's somewhat processed? It could include
what a homemade snack.
I don't think it has to be processed. Okay.
Well, I feel like candy could be like its own. Maybe I'm just getting too wild here, but I feel like that could be its own episode.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like those are like we can delve into further. We're just talking more like the high level.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like chips or candy or, you know what I mean? Like it's more of like that.
So we're not talking about specific snacks? We're just talking about
we can get into the specifics. I think we can get into whatever we want. There's no rules, just right.
We're just talking categories of snacks?
Or we can go deep. This is getting very.
Maybe this should just be about what defines snacks. Maybe that's like all we need to talk about. What is the definition of a snack?
Transitioned into the
is fruit a snack?
I know that's
of course.
Yeah, I would consider a fruit a snack.
Leftovers a snack?
Always, yeah, they are. Yeah. Pizza.
Is a dip
questionable?
Is a dip a snack by itself, or does it need something to eat the dip on?
Have you ever just dip into your mouth without?
No,
right? Are you just eating dip straight?
No. Okay,
we need to talk
let's pretend for a second, and I don't. Let's pretend that I love baba ganoush, and I want to make a case that baba ganoush is the best snack. Does it matter if I use a pita chip or a carrot or a pork rind?
Well, I think it's inferred that I mean, it depends, but I think it's inferred that you're dipping something into it, if it's hummus or guacamole or something like that.
Right, but the guacamole can be the snack, not the chip.
Well, that you could make an argument that that's a great snack, a snack that could be, eaten in a variety of ways.
Versatile.
Multi-purpose snack. Snack that could be dipped, a snack that could be spread.
I feel like Sarah and Mason are real disappointed with this here. I feel like they're not buying in.
I feel like without boundaries, it's really hard. I think that's
fucking anarchy.
I'm struggling without boundaries.
Can we do best worst dips, or is that too specific?
Water a snack? Is water a snack?
No.
No. But is soda a snack?
No drinks. No drinks. No drinks.
No drinks. Okay, we have rules. Okay, no drinks. Good.
No,
we're going somewhere.
Yeah, no drinks.
No drinks.
We still have dips in, and we still have candy in.
Okay, is it too broad? Too broad. We need to get more specific.
I'm just talking it through.
Maybe
Sarah.
My mind is blown with all of the snack options right now.
And so I assume like baked goods are also like cupcakes, right?
Donuts,
muffins,
for sure.
Donuts.
Yep.
It's kind of a breakfast, no? I guess people eat them at
Starbucks.
Well, that's a part of the thing is like, what's the best and what's the worst of that? You know what I mean?
Can't have a snack at breakfast.
I guess
can't have a snack in the morning?
I don't. Maybe we just need to go through. Everyone says like, what's like the snack you turn to the most, and the one you like avoid.
That's
the
a
most.
good idea.
Maybe we just start there,
idea.
And then we can roll from that place. I don't know.
Let's start with our go-to snacks. That's a great idea, Sarah. Let's start with our go-to snacks, and then see what happens.
See where we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Kurt,
Sarah, that means you start then.
Oh, I start?
Yeah.
No, I want you to start.
Okay. Go-to snacks. I mean, there's like 7th grade Sarah and now Sarah. I'm going to start with now Sarah. Very different.
Well, we know that cereal with milk will not be one of them.
Not one of them ever. But right, go-to now, if I'm not like concerned with like health focused at the moment, would be tortilla chips with either guacamole or salsa specifically. I'm a huge corn tortilla chip fan. They are like my absolute fave. But if I am, just trying to like, I've already had a lot to eat that day, or I know I'm going to have a big dinner, I'm probably going to lean more towards a slices of pear or an apple with like some nuts. A little boring, but just like almonds or walnuts or pecans. So I like a nut and fruit snack is really where I fall in line. I'm not a big like pre-packaged person snack anymore. Now take me back to 7th grade. I would tell you corn nuts. So I'll throw that in the
corn
mix.
Nuts.
I throw corn nuts in the
corn
mix.
nut in a hot minute.
Yeah. And then I like chips are what like I could get crazy about chips, but those are like my go-to in the cabinet now. Granola. I'll do granola on occasion with a little bit of yogurt. Some fruit in there. I don't know. Seems kind of boring. What do you guys got?
So healthy. You're so healthy.
I say
it's mostly corn chips, so I don't know how healthy, but yes, very healthy. Anyone else?
I feel like I could do a whole show about different types of corn chip. Like
there are, and there's a huge variety, and some are.
Fritos is a corn chip.
Yeah.
Technically,
I'm not a huge. Yeah, not a huge Frito fan specifically.
Fritos are pretty good. I tried this recently. You can make a Frito boat with a bag.
Frito pie.
It's a Frito boat. Just chili and cheese inside of a Frito bag. You're ready to go.
I don't like Fritos, but I do like those.
Yeah, those are good.
Fritos by themselves they're so salty that they like tear up your mouth.
That's true.
You eat a whole bag without like a bean dip, then you're the roof of your mouth is getting
Trader Joe's has their version of the Doritos corn chip. It's pretty good. Less salty, better for dips. Good with guacamole. Very good with guacamole.
Oh gosh, you guys are like talking all these chips. I just feel like then we get in. There's like kettle chips, Dorito. There's so many Okay,
this is
get overwhelmed.
So just a tangent. I just saw like a half hour ago. Lay's comes out with all these crazy ass flavors of potato chips. They're doing like Inception. It's almost Inception potato chip. So they're doing Lay's with Cheetos flavoring, with Doritos flavoring, and one other one. It's just like it would like just looking at it, my mind already starts to melt a little bit. Like your mind would not be able to process the feel of the Lay's with the
That sounds like something Taco Bell would do. Recycling ingredients to create new ingredients, new recipes.
We got a lot of extra powder here. What can we do with it?
Speaking of snacks, so like sometimes I'll go to like out where I'm at. They don't have really ranch market or rancho market, but there's giant Asian like superstores, and their snacks are the most interesting snacks. You walk down their aisles and they just have like such a variety of snacks, but half the time you don't really know what like the flavor profiles are. You don't know how it's going to taste. And so it's a crapshoot. I just want to grab them all. So I'll just grab all these different snacks, and I end up throwing away half of them because it's just things I'm not really used to. But they have a great variety of snacks. If you ever want a like kind of a potpourri of snacks.
It's like Russian roulette.
You've always liked different kinds of snacks.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good point.
I remember when we used to live together.
Snack gamble.
Didn't you used to eat like the wasabi nuts or whatever?
Oh yeah,
that's coated
wasabi coated peanuts, and I had my stepfather had he liked Asian food, and he'd always get weird snacks, and I'd always have different things in the house like Asian mixes of sesame, and I like it.
There was this thing called Universal Yums. I don't know if you heard about it. My brother got it for me for Christmas, I think. And it was every month you get a box full of snacks. They have like 20, 30 things, and it's from a different country. So
cool.
It'll be like the first one's like Denmark. And then it comes with a cool little booklet that tells you about all the snacks, and it will, it has like some trivia about the country and about the sort of snacks that people like in that country. It was really fun. Cool. I don't eat a lot of those snacks, but so I didn't like continue the subscription. But you might look into it, Joe, as someone who's a snack guy. If you really like all those interesting facts. Some of them were weird. There would be like bacon chips, or it would be like a cake that's flavored like salami or something. Just weird things.
That's cool.
But I am like I'm like adventurous when it comes to snacks and foods. And I always am, I'm disappointed a lot of the times, but I just keep on wanting to push and try new things when I'm always disappointed. I feel like I just kind of stick to my core snacks, but I just want to branch out and try different snacks.
You're looking for that diamond in the rough.
I found this, basically you'll appreciate this, but I found these tahini coated peanuts that are just amazing. And let me tell you something.
Is tahini a snack?
Tahini is becoming a snack right now. Tahini is the new something.
It's the new something.
When we were in Phoenix at that hotel, Joey started 3 or 4 different conversations with people about the seasoning tahini. And people were like, oh yeah, I know, I love it. And it was one of those things where it's this part of the zeitgeist where right now, at this moment, somehow, I don't know where it started, if it was a food show or something, but somehow tahini was like, they hired a PR person who was like, okay, now is our moment.
Everywhere.
We're going to put tahini on the lips of every person who's like into new and exciting foods.
I feel like tahini is pretty ubiquitous. It's all over like South America, Central America, Mexico.
Oh yeah, it's not new.
It's not new, but right now it's making a big surge in the States.
Yeah, and I'm really curious about it.
I literally have a month of food shows coming up, so I'm sure I'll hear plenty about it.
Yep. And every single person got legitimately excited to talk about how much they love tahini.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
it was not. I mean, I might have talked to 3 people, but it was very organic. Like it was in the same kind of. We were all talking together, but everyone really liked it. And, it's new to me as well.
They had some tahini dust on their chin. And
hey, we're like-minded. I can see.
Yeah.
What got you into tahini, Joe? Like, when did you start experimenting with that?
So Rochelle had some friends come to visit, and she heard that I like the occasional chelada. Okay, so it's a beer mixed with a little bit of tomato juice and some spices. And she says, "Well, I have a great modification for your chelada." They went to the supermarket, came back with one of those big round, kind of salters where you can get the lime and squeeze it. And she put a tahine rim on my chelada, and it was absolutely amazing. It blew my mind. And then now I crave that flavor because it's so good. But I
want you to know that. Yeah, go ahead.
But I go through phases. I mean, right now it's tahine. I remember when I was young, I had such a passion for sunflower seeds. I would just chew them all the time. And I just hate sunflower seeds now. So it goes, you kind of, you cycle through different snack styles.
Well, I was going to say, because now I think I have to get tahine and use it for like margarita rims. And then I know that's going to pass along the excitement about tahine to some new people. They're going to be like, what is this?
I have a bottle here. I can, start rimming some glasses.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we're tired of the same kind of margaritas. We need, a little change, and it'll come and go. Salt will always be the mainstay, but tahine is making a push right now.
Yes.
Can you do drinks qualify? Because Joey, if I recall, I remember specifically the Arizona iced tea, like the green or blue bottle. Right. You could go get
basically
all the time. What was that flavor? Was it just Arizona iced tea?
No, they did like a green tea flavor, but it's basically
just green tea. That's what it was.
It's just sucrose. They can sell it in like
it's
a
just all
bag.
sugar. Yeah, it's just like a giant can of sugar.
I feel like drinks
speaking of sugar.
Yeah.
Oh, you
drinks are a whole different category.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well,
although they can be a snack like boba or a smoothie or something.
God, boba.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about sugar is I read something that confounded me a little bit. And then I looked into it, and I don't know. But have you heard this thing that Skittles all have the same exact flavor, but they have a different aroma, like the dye they use and the scent that they put on them is different, but the Skittles themselves all have the same flavor. And all these things I looked into where people would test it, they would try them with their eyes closed, right, and hold their nose, and you can't tell the difference between them. If you can't smell them, you can't taste the difference between Skittles, which I found bizarre. Like the aroma of orange kind of like tells your mind this tastes like an orange flavor or strawberry or whatever.
And that's all you need to change the flavor profile? That is fascinating.
Yeah. It's like a suggestion.
Well, don't they say that about Fruit Loops too?
Oh, really?
Fruit Loops are all the same.
Yeah.
The
dye, because dye and like the scent stuff is cheap, but to make like different flavors is actually
flavor.
I used to like
change a recipe.
Flavor compounds.
I used to really like gummy bears, and you can get like kind of the cheap off-brand gummy bears and like the Rainbow Forest, where all the different colors tasted exactly the same. And then they have the Haribo gummy bears, where they actually do have different flavors. I'm pretty sure that each color is a different flavor. So
yeah, the red ones are the best. I mean,
I like the pineapple here, but yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I concur. So Joe, you mentioned your stable of snacks. What's your stable, like your core?
I mean,
snacks?
chips, basically. I eat a lot of the dried seaweed, salted seaweed. I always have that on hand. It's a good snack because I'm more of a savory kind of guy. I like savory snacks. So chips, and a lot of those Asian mixes. They have the kind of the combo mixes, little spicy red things and peppers and peas. I always have those on hand.
Wow.
I mean,
those things. He's like the unnamed, like that unnamed snack of just stuff.
I could start looking. Yeah, I should have been.
Okay.
Come around back to me. Let me marinate on this.
Can you show us an example of this?
That was not a passionate snack. I got
There's
stuff.
like dried peas and like red pepper flakes, and then tahine.
Put something in front of me.
Just throw tahine on everything.
Come back around to me, Kurt.
Yeah, so I mean, I think chips probably universal. I'm a big corn chip, tortilla chip fan. I'm a big popcorn guy.
Oh God, I forgot about popcorn. I love popcorn.
And so I like many.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, and I like all forms, like homemade or
can't beat it.
Different flavorings, like I like caramel corn. I'm a caramel corn freak. I love caramel corn, especially like when you can get the good. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
I don't.
I've never tried that. I'm curious. I
don't have near the patience to do that.
Everyone's like, nope. I do it. No, I gotta have a ratio, like an even ratio of like chocolate to no. But I do eat Hershey Kisses where I eat the top off first, and then I do 1, 2 with even little cross with my teeth, and then I put it in my mouth. You don't do that?
Best worst ways to eat food.
No, you gotta bite it and get an even flavor profile from each of the items. Crunch, chocolate, nut. Yeah, everything's got to be
on
even.
mute, Joe.
Even. But sorry, Kurt, this is about your snacking, but I needed to chime in on this.
No, this is our podcast. This is our podcast. I think what else am I? I'm more savory too. So I'm trying to think of what else. I like beef jerky quite a bit.
The old jerky.
Right? I like a good beef jerky. You can get real bad beef jerky too. But I like, and two, I think like as a, as I get older and like fitting it into like work day, you know what I mean? It's always like, there's like the mid-morning kind of snack and the mid-afternoon snack, and then more of like a late night snack. Or like I almost like have different ones for different time periods through the day. So beef jerky always seems to work pretty well. It's kind of one of those like mid-afternoon, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carry you through. I'm trying to think of what else that. Yeah, and two, I think like with you, Sarah, I think when I was younger, there's probably a lot of other shit that I ate as a snack that I didn't give two shits about. But now as a older person who can't eat the way I did when I was younger, not that I always eat healthy, but I got to at least attempt to do a little bit better.
Like I remember doing after school snack was s'mores, and I had like the perfect thing where I would get the perfect, one size graham cracker, 4 Hershey Kisses, and then put a marshmallow in the center, and I'd microwave it. I think it was like 15 or 20 seconds, and it makes it perfect. And I would have that like all the time.
That's a good
It is really good. You know what I mean? Like it's a really, all you need 4 Hershey Kisses. I mean, you could do regular, but the Hershey Kisses work well for that. So if anyone is in need of a 7th grade snack recommendation.
They actually make marshmallows with the chocolate embedded inside the marshmallow. So you could just like, it just melts.
Are they any good?
Chocolate.
Is it?
Well, and they really,
I'm curious.
Well, the marshmallows have really come a long way. Now they have like, it's like shaped perfect for the s'more. Have you seen those?
No, I'm like behind in the whole.
Yeah, they're like
world.
Square and kind of flat, so it fits. So it's not like it's not so big, so you don't have to like unhinge your jaw to eat a damn s'more.
Have you guys? Do you guys like chicharrones? That's a snack I always have on hand. Mm-hmm. It's chicharrones, different flavors, and they've really come a long way with chicharrones.
Pork rinds for you gringos.
Okay, pork rinds, but they have so many different flavors now that it's almost like chips in terms of variety.
Yeah, It's come a long way. I think too for like especially like the keto, the low carb crowd has made sure that is a staple. But yeah, I love, the getting some like the fresh chicharrones. Near where my office is, there's a heavy Hispanic population. And we actually have some grocery stores down there, and they make some fresh ones, and they're like amazing.
Yeah, some of them, I don't know if they have like, they're almost like chewy, like they have meat inside of them, like actual pork belly inside of them.
Those are, I think they call them cracklins, because there's some that sell them too, and they like leave some of the fat back on the skin, so that when it fries, it also has some meat on it. Yeah, they're real good.
They are so filling. You take like 2 bites and you're full.
Yeah. That
just like the amount of fat
that
in
makes pork rinds, they have a cracklins, like a line of cracklins, and if I eat some, I've made the mistake of eating an entire bag, and it will make you sick because it's like so filling.
It's so rich.
That's a lot.
But I think chicharrones and guac is just a great combo right there. It's just perfect
onion
for
dip.
each other. Or onion dip too, yeah. Sour cream.
The classic sour cream and onion dip. That is my family's go-to. Mm-hmm. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's very hard to find someone who's not satisfied. I don't even like sour cream, and I like that dip. And people always be like, this dip is amazing. You're like, yeah, it's just sour cream and onion dip.
We're talking about dips.
Yeah.
You got artichoke dip. Spinach
with jalapenos in there. Gotta have some jalapenos. Gosh, and I forgot about popcorn. Like popcorn, Kurt brought up like a very good, like popcorn is like, I haven't eaten popcorn for a few months. I had to have like a little tooth thing done where I couldn't eat popcorn for a while. So you reminded me of the hole in my heart that is, I haven't had popcorn since March. So maybe sometime soon.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But dips, you started, Mason. You were talking in the beginning there, the dip realm. I mean, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Homemade. I think, Sarah, you guys have the homemade spinach artichoke dip. Is that what it is?
Well, Joey, specifically, it's a artichoke and jalapeno dip. It does not have spinach, but you can easily add that. Sorry. No, it's okay.
No, but that dip is spot on. That's a great dip.
That dip is so good. It's so easy to make, too.
Spiciness, creaminess. So good. Yeah, it's a great
Mason,
dip.
Kurt, do you guys remember that dip? Do you remember ever having it? It's just like, we just call it the artichoke dip at the house.
I think so.
They serve it. We either serve it.
I vaguely remember something.
Tortilla chips or bread, but it's like a creamy artichoke with jalapeno. Like, you can't go wrong with
chunks
it.
Big chunks.
I mean, if Rose wants to make some and ship it out,
okay, get you guys some right. Oh, how fun would that be if we could be like eating snacks right now, like little snack packs?
Oh gosh, if we were better
guys,
planners, snacks.
It could happen. Yeah,
it could be like ASMR too, where we're just crunching on various things.
We could definitely do like a cookie episode where we share cookies.
Cookies.
Okay, talking about bad snacks, I like celery. You bring up a really great point because celery can either be one of the worst.
Okay.
No, it can be one of the worst when it's like bitter, or one of the best when you get like, sometimes celery is like sweet and crunchy and watery where you are so satisfied, but other times you get it and it's stringy and bitter, and when it is like the worst, where you're like, how? And the thing is, it's always a gamble. Like, you don't know. Like, you're like, where am I going to go with the celery?
You know, Sarah, that's a great point, because my early experience with celery was just like being a kid, like after school, daycare, and they give you celery with peanut butter, right? And it'd be that stringy, gross celery. And I hated celery for the longest time until I was an adult.
It's on a log?
Yeah, exactly. Until I was an adult and I got to actually try and buy my own celery. And it was a game changer.
Yeah, like if you get a good group of celery hearts, man, it's delicious. Yeah. But otherwise, it can be so bad. So that's like the one snack that can go either way. It's like love or hate. So I don't hate it.
Well, it's very tied to whatever you're gonna put with it too. Like it's such like a neutral-ish flavor that it's
celery
like,
by itself is not really a snack.
Well, hey, I have to
throw out here. Blue cheese. or peanut butter.
So I eat celery completely alone. I never dip celery, kind of like my cereal. I don't dip my celery. Like I won't dip it in a
There's
dip.
no one else in the room when you eat it too. I eat it alone. I don't put it in anything. I'm in solitary confinement.
It's part of what No, I really don't. Like I will never dip celery in a dip. I might do a carrot, but never a celery. Which is maybe why I'm so specific about the flavor of my celery profile.
Well, have you tried celery, like juicing celery? It's quite good.
So I gotta throw out there, I hate juicing celery because the celery juice overpowers. I know that it's very healthy for you, but the celery juice flavor is so overpowering. Like I can only handle a very small amount. It's actually like kind of turns me off a lot. But I know it's good for you. Sorry. Can't talk to you anymore. I'm going to have to leave.
Hey, I think we're forgetting about like a snack that's like, I feel like it's in everyone's home. And even if you can't tolerate it, you can get varieties of things that you can eat that taste like it. Now, what I'm talking about is ice cream. So ice cream is a snack in everyone's house. I love it. I go to it all the time. I have like 4 different flavors right now.
This also can be its own genre because then you get into your ice creams, your gelatos. You get like it's a very good point, great snack. I don't even know if I can.
Is dessert its own separate category?
Yeah. I think so. I think it should be.
Damn it!
But so many snacks are desserts too.
Yeah. I think you can bring it up. I think it's very valid. I'm just saying if I go in there.
Yeah.
If I start getting into ice creams, but I think it's a great snack.
You know, it's funny because we're like, I think this topic is too broad because let's face it, guys, snacks is just food, and we all have to eat food all the time.
It's true. It's any food.
It's any food.
Yeah. One of my favorite snacks is if I have leftover steak in my fridge and I eat.
We might as well say like best worst items we ate today at this point. Yeah. We probably like
best worst food basically is what we're talking about.
In general.
I like leftover Chinese food. I just eat that cold. I can eat that hot. It's so good.
Right.
You can eat Indian Chinese food cold.
Great snacks.
Indian food snacks.
Chow mein, yeah.
Chinese food cold is good.
I'm not a Chinese food cold particular fan, but I guess I never really tried it. So I guess there's that. And maybe I need to. Yeah. I have some leftover Thai. Does that count? Because that's a whole different thing. So I don't know if I should.
Pad Thai cold. It's
noodles.
Whenever you go into the microwave with something, there's a good chance that you're gonna like just destroy it. And I've gotten really precise about which foods I use which like microwave power on, and it is rescued a lot. But sometimes you just can't get it right where you want it. If you heat it up, you don't want it to be lukewarm, you want it to be hot. And then you get to that point where everything's just incinerated.
I rarely microwave leftovers now. I will almost always put them in a pan on the stovetop, depending on the microwave, or in the oven if I have time. Because you're right. It's just too.
Sarah, you're so bougie.
That's actually a really good point.
I know we're getting way off topic, but if you guys want to change your leftover games completely, try an air fryer.
Air fryer, yeah.
Air fryers are
true. Yeah. So true. Yeah, it's amazing.
Gives it a crisp.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or you know what? Toaster ovens really do the trick too, depending on what you're trying to do. If you have a good toaster oven, there's a lot you could do with that.
Technically, it's like the same technology, basically. The air fryer is a toaster oven with a fan. So, yeah.
So if you just have a toaster oven with the convection oven feature, basically you're saying you have the same thing?
That's what an air fryer is.
Air fryer, guys, I didn't know it, but I got one. I have had air fried chicken. It was really good. So I know, but I guess I need to explore my toaster oven options more often.
What about deep fried stuff, guys? Those are snacks too, right?
God.
Wings, fries, onion rings.
Are they snacks or those are like meals?
Jalapeno poppers? Appetizers?
Oh my
gosh.
I
don't know. Pizza.
Well, these are appetizers. This is so much. Oh my gosh. You're opening like a good onion ring. Just even like
onion rings.
How about just like a good deep fried veggie? I once had like I think it was pumpkin flowers when I was in Italy. And it was like the best thing I've ever had. All they did was deep fry the pumpkin flowers. Like you see them here as zucchini flowers. I think it's almost the same thing. But they were like a lighter flour that melted in your mouth. So basically all you were eating was like deep fried crispy batter. And then like when you got into the center of it, it just like melted in your mouth with the soft flavor. It was like the best thing I've ever had.
Okay, I'm gonna try and rein in
zucchini
snacks
sticks too.
So you want to go from food to something more specific?
I want to say, like, what if we said it's not cooked?
Oh, wow.
Not cooked.
Okay. So popcorn?
Oh, shit. God damn it.
Okay. Within reason. Not cooked within reason.
Minimal amount.
That's
of
minimal.
Like
you
can roast
almonds. It could be microwaved, but it can't be like, it's not something you would order at a restaurant.
Right.
Even though they serve like nuts at a restaurant. I don't know.
Okay, no, I know. I see where you're going with this.
You know what I'm saying?
Nuts are like a throwaway at a restaurant.
Right. But so I guess what I'm saying is I'm excluding like French fries. But maybe I don't know. Microwave pizza.
I mean, I've been known to air fry a few French fries for a snack.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. Or make a
pretzels.
pizza.
Pretzels, those frozen pretzels, you can just heat them and air fry. Those are amazing.
Yeah.
With mustard.
Or corn dogs. You ever do the air fry corn dogs?
Oh, yes.
Corn dog is really... it's a really good option.
I had... We got...
Disneyland corn dog?
Passes to...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait.
Well, that's what I was going to...
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll give my corn dog, my favorite corn dog.
Oh, I was just going to say, I had a corn dog... Oh, yeah. Well, I was just going to say I had one we got season passes to the theme park near us, and I had a corn dog the other day, and it was just like, it was one of those foot-long ones. I'm sure it's not as good as the Disneyland one, but it was super good, and I was like...
Mustard?
You just forget how
Only
like
mustard,
a good
right?
corn dog
They're really good.
You put ketchup on or ketchup and mustard?
Just mustard.
I'm not a mustard guy.
Oh, I'm mustard only on this corn dog.
Yeah,
same.
Mustard only. Gotta go mustard only.
So Disneyland amazing corn dog. I don't know if anyone else can remember, but there's one spot too. It's Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and they not only have corn dogs, but they'll do like a spicy. It's not quite like a sausage, but it's like a spicy dog that goes inside of their like hand dipped corn dog, and it is. I mean, it's like absolutely amazing. It's only at one vendor there in Santa Cruz, and
wow.
Yeah, if it doesn't rank number one, it might rank number two. I don't know. I haven't had a Disney dog right up next to it, but you guys,
you know what?
Up there.
The Costco Polish dog is one of my favorite snacks. I get it.
Can't say I've ever
at
had
Costco.
it. Cannot say I've ever
amazing.
had it.
Does the Costco rotisserie chicken count as a snack?
I literally no.
I have eaten it.
I had that for dinner
chicken.
tonight.
It's the best rotisserie chicken in the whole wide world.
Yeah, I get that chicken. I pull all the meat off of it, and then I just use it to make like chicken wraps, chicken salad.
8,000.
It's one of my,
or just shovel it in my mouth.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of going to Costco is getting one of those chickens and then just like pulling all the meat off of it. Because then I'll eat the parts I like as I go, and then you have this whole thing of chicken to use for, like you said, like sandwiches or salads or whatever. But I just want to scoop the oysters out of the bottom and eat the wings.
My wife gets so mad when I eat like the skin and all the.
Oh really?
Like,
you're not saving any.
Because she's like, what is left?
Yeah.
Like, what did you leave me here?
Got
The driest parts of the.
Here's your breast meat without any skin. There you go.
Here's your.
You want to see like aggressiveness from people? You just stand by that chicken area at Costco when people are waiting for them to be put out.
When they're out, it
is crazy. Like there's people like in a circle, and everyone's kind of like getting in there. Like everyone starts moving, and they start grabbing them off the shelves. It's like it's a sight.
Well, how crazy is it that like that chicken I think costs like $4.99 or $5.99.
Yeah.
But if you go to Safeway, you're going to get a chicken for like half. It's half as big. And you have to pay $12 for it or something. It's a great deal.
It is a great.
Also, the Safeway one is dry and tastes like shit.
Yeah, the grocery store ones are terrible.
Why can't they do it
that's like the Costco. I don't know how they do the Costco cheesecake because cheesecake is so expensive everywhere. And like that Costco cheesecake is like, I don't know, $11, $13, whatever it is. And it's really good, I think. But I guess I'm not like a cheesecake connoisseur.
Costco and Sam's have their own farms specifically for the birds.
Oh, I was like, they have a cheesecake farm.
Oh my God! I would move there if they had.
They have cows where they only make food.
It's like Willy Wonka's Cheesecake Factory.
I was like, wow, that's something.
Oompa Loompas welcome you with open arms.
Which one? By the way, since we're talking about snacks, I did. This is just a tangent, real quick, but I did see the original Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory and the remake with Johnny Depp, and I'm really conflicted because I love the original one so much, but when I saw the new one, it was the first time I'd seen it. Actually, I liked it better. It was better than the original.
I felt like the Johnny Depp character played more true to the book.
So good.
Yeah, he was good, and he was more like the book, I think, where he's weird.
So weird and so good.
Whereas like the Gene Wilder one, I thought he played it a little more straight. I don't think you have to compare them. I think they're both amazing movies, and
you're right.
They're like different.
They're both amazing.
I never saw the new one with Johnny Depp.
Comparing things, but
you don't need to compare anything, guys. Just let them be their own things. Don't compare anything. I never saw them, but I did, of course, read that book. I actually read it a few times as a kid. It was like my favorite. I think most kids.
You never saw the one with Gene Wilder?
I saw the one with Gene Wilder only. I never saw the Johnny Depp one. So perhaps I can.
It's worth watching. Yeah.
Write that onto my movie list amongst many others.
Oh, it's worth watching.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
So Mace, you haven't given us your stable of snacks.
Well, man. So I have snacks I like, and then I have snacks I eat, and they're different. It is stupid.
Good point.
But
very good point.
It's this thing where I try to not have the snacks I like, except on like if I'm on vacation or special occasions. You know what I mean? And so I end up keeping things that I think are going to be healthy, and then I just eat too much of them. So you have like the Blue Diamond, those smokehouse almonds. You know those?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, almonds
those
are
so
a
good.
healthier snack. But then if you read it, you're really supposed to eat like
it's like
a couple tablespoons of things, and I want to. You can just pop them. So I actually got pistachios because they slow you down, right? You can't eat them so fast. You have to take the shells off.
They're good.
Those are good. I love they have. I forget they're called like Perfect or something. They have these salt and pepper ones that I really like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Those are delicious.
I do. We get those. Are good.
If I have tortilla chips, if I have kettle chips, various flavors, and it's just like gone in 60 seconds. So I try to do dips. Have you guys heard of this bitchin sauce? Mm-hmm. They have it at Costco.
I've ordered it before. Yeah.
It's made with almonds, and it's had a really interesting flavor. They have like a spicy one and they have a regular one. Try it. It's a real nice dip. And it works with you can eat with vegetables, or you can eat with. I did pork rinds a lot because I try not to eat too many carbs, but my favorite snacks are all carbs. You know what I also really like is cheese, and especially like that buffalo mozzarella cheese. So you can get it, cut it up into little pieces, drizzle some olive oil, sprinkle a little salt, maybe put some balsamic vinegar or something. It's a really nice snack. Put some salami on there, some prosciutto on there. It's a really nice snack. I love cheese plate.
Yeah,
like a charcuterie plate.
Charcut. Yeah. I totally forgot cheese. That's a great call out. Yeah, cheese is that's definitely way up there.
I have to confess, I love a good cheese platter, but I love it for the looks. And I know this sounds so ridiculous. I don't really like cheese. I eat very small amounts, like a tiny bite. But they're Darren makes fun of me because if we're like on the road and there's like a cheese factory, we can go cheese tasting or something. I'll be like, oh, there's a cheese. He's like, you don't eat cheese. I'm like, I know, but it looks so pretty. Like they always display it in such a beautiful way that like I'll force myself to like have little bites and like I'll make cheese platters or I'll be so excited people have them laid out. But I actually eat around the cheese. Like I eat like the nuts and the fruit and the crackers and I'll take like the smallest amount. They're gorgeous to look at though. Like it just makes me happy.
You have a lactose problem?
I probably do at this point just because I don't really eat any dairy. So I mean, like, have I been diagnosed? No, but
there are HEPA laws. You don't have to answer this question.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you. That brings up a very good point. Thank you.
Speaking of cheese plates, there's a snack that
I was accosted.
Like, crackers are a snack that I can't keep in my house because I'll eat them. And like, if I have a box of Cheez-Its are my favorites. Like the best crackers. God. And by the way, I was at a store once and they were out of the regular Cheez-Its. I was on vacation and I was like, I want some fucking Cheez-Its. And they were out of regular, so they had pepper jack Cheez-Its and like extra cheesy Cheez-Its, both disgusting. And not anything like the majesty of Cheez-Its. Wheat Thins. Also so good, or even the fancy ones that are like rosemary and sea salt crackers.
Those are so
I love
good.
Crackers, but I'll just because they don't really fill you up. I don't like goldfish. I hate goldfish. No.
Yeah. You don't like goldfish?
I hate them.
It reminds me of kid food.
That's right. It's kid food.
It is kid food. And then when kids have them, I'm like, let me have
I think I've had so many of like you eat your kids' leftover extra couple crackers or something, and it like traumatizes you.
Anyone with kids will say, no, I hate goldfish.
Goldfish specifically.
Yeah. Specifically.
Yeah, I can.
Triscuits, I think, on some people's worst list, but I do like that crunch. And however they do that, it's a good crunch to add to any type of, like you said, you could put prosciutto on it, cheese on it, adds a little bit of crunch and mouth texture.
It's the shredded wheat
celery,
of crackers.
Needs a topping. It needs something.
Right.
Yeah, you can't eat it by itself.
Yeah.
Gosh, I forgot. How about the old Ritz?
Now you got me thinking about crackers.
Just even like a Ritz cracker, they're so buttery. Like they're not my favorite, but they are really like they just. Yeah.
The texture of Ritz crackers is amazing. There's a really interesting story, and I don't know it, but I'm going to tell you it's an interesting story if you want to pursue it. About it was.
That's a great way to lead us.
It was about the invention of this company called Sunshine Bakery. That they created, I forget, I don't even remember the name of it, but so I'm going to give you the gist of what I do know. It was during like the Depression when everyone, like crackers were like a staple of what you ate, right? And they created a cracker that was like crispy and crunchy, and it was this square, and they invented the I don't know if it's aluminum or whatever, the metal container to keep it fresh, because that was the problem with crackers, they go stale. So they invented this container to keep the crackers fresh, and this wax paper so that you could roll it up and it would keep your crackers, and they lasted longer. And they hired this attorney to write a patent for them. And this fucking guy, he went and started a company called Nabisco and created the saltine, which was literally their recipe and their container. And then so they launched their stupid thing, and he basically stole their idea and was a better marketing guy and created the saltine. So fast forward a couple decades, and these Sunshine Bakery people decide they want to get into people are now into cookies. So they want to get into the dessert game. So they invent this cookie that has, because most of the cookies at the time were kind of like sweet crackers. They were dry and kind of weren't super appealing. So they invent this cookie called the Hydrox cookie that's 2 pieces of chocolate with freaking this soft, gooey paste in the middle.
Oreo.
Also known as Oreo, which was stolen by the same fucking guy. Okay, so this guy, this guy that started Nabisco, he stole their ideas to start his company, and then stole their idea to launch Oreos, and now most people don't even know about the original crackers. That's basically the story, so maybe I do remember it. But It's pretty interesting.
It was pretty solid.
It was cool.
Great story.
Yeah.
That was a great snack.
Sunshine Crackers, founded in Kansas
Was
City,
it really?
Missouri.
There you go.
Wow.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they make Cheez-Its.
Do they make Cheez-Its? All right. That is their redemption story. So they it's like, that's okay.
Yes.
All right.
Fuck you, Nabisco.
Do you guys like
just
you
assumed
dirty
Nabisco
rat?
made Cheez-Its.
Does anyone like any of those highly processed meat sticks that they call Slim Jims? And they also have different variety of meat sticks that you can eat. You're not really sure what you're eating. You're not what actual product is it? Is it pork?
I only like it if I'm on a road trip. There's like something satisfying about just snapping into the Slim Jim when you're on a road trip, but otherwise I would never ever eat it. I don't really like beef jerky that much either.
So I actually bought, in Costco they sell like the 7-Eleven pack that they sell, like they wholesale it almost. So one time I bought the Slim Jims and I had a real hard time getting through them because like you said, Mace, it's a road food choice.
Yeah.
If you have it in your house and it's an unlimited amount of quantity, it's too much.
We get it's like turkey sticks. They're kind of like shorter meat sticks. Those are pretty good. They're a little bit healthier, less calorie.
I don't think I've ever eaten a meat stick. Like I may have had one bite, but I'm really like turned off by them. But at the same rate, I just said I love corn dogs. So like what does that say about it's like, but I just never, for whatever reason, it's the idea of like meat that's like packaged.
Is it the shape?
You like more girth in your meat stick, I think is all you're saying.
Maybe that's it, Mason. I couldn't find the words, but maybe that's it.
It was like a softball that was just hanging out there.
I was more implying that they're both processed meats, but okay, we'll take it.
That's the popularity of the meat stick. Right?
Yeah, not a big meat stick fan, but but like
they sell these other kinds. Like if you want to dive deeper into the meat stick like genre, they have like these Bahama Mamas. They're like these big red meat sticks with like pickled juice on it. They have like all like sorts of different meat sticks. I've tried them because if you're on the road, I just want to try new snacks, and they're really, really gross. I don't even know what those are made of.
You're bringing up something that it's reminding me, it's unrelated, but sort of reminding me it's a meat, and I know people love it, and I'm sure you guys might love it, but at Disneyland, that giant turkey leg doesn't taste like turkey meat. Like, I don't understand it. It's kind of weird tasting. People love it.
Smoked.
I don't know. There's something... People love it though, but it feels like weird to me.
That smoked turkey feels like it's a great value because it's so big.
Maybe that's
and it looks cool, and people are like, "Oh, where'd you get that? I want whenever you get them." But the thing I find is when you eat those smoked turkey legs, they have so much of that, like I don't know, that cartilage. There's like there's like strips of cartilage.
Yeah, connective tissue.
You can't eat it with one hand. You have to kind of like pull these pieces out, and all of a sudden you need to sit down and with a fork and knife and eat it, and it defeats the point of being a snack.
Favorite snack.
So can I tell a story about a turkey leg? Speaking of the amusement park we were at, so I had gotten a turkey leg at Worlds of Fun here in Kansas City, and so me and my brother-in-law, and I was with my 2-year-old daughter, and he had his youngest daughter while the rest of the families were off riding a ride or something. And so we got in that and sat down at like a table that was right next to this. There was other food stands around. And so we sit down and this woman comes out of like this cafeteria area and is like, puts her hands on the table. And I'm like, hey. And she's like, looks a little bit dazed, a little bit lost. And then she like grabs my soda and I'm like, did you need a drink or something? And she's like, I got to sit down. And then, so proceed to have this whole, so it was super hot that day and she was clearly like having some kind of heat stroke type thing. I was like, do you need help? And she's like, yeah, you need to get me somebody. And so I'm sitting, I'm holding the fucking turkey leg in my hand, like you talked about. I needed the two. My other hand is fucking greasy. I got the turkey leg. I'm giving some to my daughter, and I'm like, and I'm like envisioning my wife coming and being like, "Why is this woman sitting at your table?" And then so like I try and grab like a 17-year-old worker. I'm like, can you, this lady needs some help. I think she's getting heat stroke. And like with all the emphasis of like a fucking snail, he's like, yeah, I guess I can go find somebody. And it took 10 minutes for like somebody to come. And then her friend comes out and is like, trying to pour like ice on her, but then the friend had gotten like a plate of food and is like trying to eat food while taking care of her friend who might like pass out because of heat stroke. And it was just the most surreal experience. Like you just don't expect it at all. And the whole time I'm holding this fucking turkey leg. Just like, and so when you brought up the turkey leg, it's like seared in my mind. It's
a great point because I did get the turkey leg at the Alameda County Fair, and when you have like two kids with you and you have a turkey leg and you have to like multitask and you realize it was a mistake.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It smells really good.
The turkey leg is always a mistake. That's what we've learned.
Shit in it. Yeah.
Like a catfish. Who doesn't want all that smoked, delicious meat? It's just not practical. It's not practical for the environment.
So apparently, we need a podcast on Disney snacks specifically, or food, or what? No, or maybe it's just amusement park, theme park snacks. Because I could
Disney
go
churro.
off on that.
The Disney churro is solid.
We can just stop at funnel cake.
That was my favorite part going when we used to go to Santa Cruz. Was getting the
funnel cake.
Yeah.
Or it used to be the what is it? The ice cream of the future. You really could only get it there at the time. The little ice cream that's little frozen balls, Dippin' Dots. Now they have them at like every mall where you can like get like a little. But when we were younger,
but I think that's
the only
still
place
their motto,
you could get them. Yeah, it's like the ice cream of the future. It's still the ice cream of the future. The future is.
I seem to remember. I think we probably spent like a whole day riffing on the ice cream of the future.
And they also create this like artificial scarcity by like not being good at their business.
Yeah.
Right. If they found some good distribution, they could be everywhere. And I think they eventually kind of tried to do that, but for the longest time. It was like you just had to go to specific areas of the world to get Dippin' Dots.
The ice cream of the future.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of your favorite sweet snacks?
If my kids see a Dippin' Dots, though, it is.
Yeah. I was saying, what are some of your favorite sweet snacks? I mostly eat savory snacks because I try to avoid sweets, but I love sweet snacks too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mostly eat savory too. I'm thinking those sweet snacks.
Because you got your Hostess. Do you remember the Twinkie?
I always like that chocolate. I mean, I haven't eaten one in years, but the chocolate one with the cream filling, the chocolate cupcake.
Oh,
that was my
chocolate cupcake. Yes. Yeah.
For me, it's the Entenmann chocolate donuts. You throw them in the refrigerator just overnight, and you eat them cold, and they have that I think it's
waxy.
It's it's super processed. It's not like something you'd ever find in any bakery, but it's like delicious little crunch to it, and the foamy filling is really good also. So it's one of my favorite sweet snacks.
I like the cinnamon donuts that you can get that little pack, kind of similar to the
powdered ones too are pretty good. Or used to be. It's been a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
a big Oreo guy.
Oreos are good. They're really good. One of my favorite snacks, and it's not really a sweet snack, it can be, but is a fresh croissant that's made like croissant. Just warm, crispy, soft on the inside. My God.
So good.
I think that's my favorite snack. I think I just landed on my favorite snack.
Such a good snack.
Joe, do you remember we were in Paris and basically we would just stop at every bakery and get a croissant.
Oh yeah.
It's like if you were hungry, you can get like a ham and cheese croissant. If you were feeling like
Sweet or
dessert,
savory,
you get a
yeah.
chocolate croissant, but otherwise it was just butter croissant.
Yeah, their butter croissants are amazing. That is a great.
So bread. So basically, bread is one of your favorite.
Gosh,
Well, yeah, actually,
that's a whole
bread
other.
and butter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, bread and butter.
There's
like,
nothing else
that's
I want in the world.
Snack.
Yeah,
that's the original snack.
I heard an interview with
Gosh, I forgot about it.
I think it was Thomas Keller or it was a super high end chef, and someone asked him, "What's your favorite meal?" And his answer was bread and butter. Like it has to be the right bread, it has to be the right butter. That's it.
It is. I have to say that is probably the thing for like comfort food. If I am anywhere at any time and there's one thing that I am craving, it is like a really good bread that's a little bit warm with some good butter. And there is
olive oil,
and there is nothing better. So I completely, but that also could be its own whole other discussion, getting into bread. But yeah, a good bread, that's my favorite.
Do you have a favorite?
There, I forgot.
Do you have a favorite like custom bread, like a specific type of bread?
Me?
Like, yeah. I like olive loaf bread. If you find the right olive loaf, it's amazing.
I mean, I like
the Kalamata olives in it.
I like a good sweet, a good French. That's like a French bread. That's a sweet French bread. I like a ciabatta bread on occasion. I like a good focaccia bread. Sourdough I like, but some of them are a little too sour, so it has to be like a very specific fresh sourdough that's warm with a butter, and I could give you like specific locations. I'm pretty picky.
Yeah.
I get pretty crazy about my bread, if I'm
How
honest.
disappointing is it when you go to a restaurant, like a nice restaurant, and they bring you a bread, like a bread bowl or whatever, and it's like some gross bread. It's such a disappointment.
It's like wedding rolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so like I remember when the first time I flew to Europe, I think they still do. I don't know. It's been a long time, but I flew on Air France, and at the time, and maybe they still do it, they just walk around and they give you little like baguettes, like the size of bread rolls with butter. And then, like wine because it's an international flight. And I was like, and it was good. Like comparatively, like for airplane food, it was like amazing. Like they had a basket that they would like take, it had like a cloth on it, and they opened it up, and I'm sure now with COVID times this will never happen, and they take a little thing and be like, yeah, like a bread roll. I'm like, yes. And so you just get, I think it came with bread, cheese, butter, like brie butter, and wine. And I was like, that's probably like the best thing I've ever had on an airplane.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Normally airplane rolls are about as bad as bread gets, like the piece of bread that they put inside
frozen.
the salad. Right.
I've actually warmed a bread roll between my legs on an airplane because it become frozen. And I'll admit that I've been like, damn it, it's cold, but I'm hungry and I can't eat it cold. So I've actually stuck it between my legs in the plastic package until it was warm. I'm admitting this right now.
Awesome.
And you know what?
Awesome.
It wasn't good, but it was better. So
that shows your dedication to bread.
Whatever it takes.
You love bread. You obviously love bread.
Yeah, like what are your? This just shows my love for bread.
Go the extra mile.
Well, I mean, you
giving
think about
tips here. I'm just giving tips.
Crackers are made from wheat and bread, and so a lot of our favorite snacks are bread origin.
Bread.
So one of my favorite snacks you were talking about sweet. But one of my favorite snacks during the summer is watermelon.
Yeah.
I can
so
eat it
good.
so
I got
much.
Does anyone?
It's my food I would eat. Like it's my answer to like if you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? It's watermelon for me. No question.
I actually remember going camping as a kid with Rochelle's family, and her family was so concerned for me because for the entire week, like I was a pretty picky eater. I only ate watermelon and white bread. It's just like they were like, "You sure you don't want any other food?" I'm like, I'm like actually really happy. Like I just ate watermelon and slices of bread, like maybe with mustard. I love watermelon.
I know we've talked about it before, but watermelon has some of the essential. A lot of the building blocks that we need to survive.
Yeah.
It's just sugar water.
Tell me if you guys have the same experience though. Like I feel like it's more difficult to find a watermelon that actually tastes sweet now. And I think it might have something to do with them not the seedless watermelons that they sell more often than the ones with the seeds. They just don't have the flavor. Like, I just want an old school one with the big seeds in it. Like, they seem more flavorful and they're harder to find now.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with you, Sarah. I think that when they, genetically modified them to not have seeds or to only have little yellow seeds, something happened to the flavor. Because I love watermelon, and I would only buy seeded watermelon, and then it just went away, and now you can't even get it.
They're
most
difficult.
Of the time.
Like, if you find one, it's like, I gotta get this. Yeah.
Yes,
they taste
and
different.
they're worlds better than seedless watermelon.
I'll have to try that
What's
again.
wrong with people? I mean, I would just eat the seeds. I don't even worry about the seeds. But is it that hard to just
was it that much of an inconvenience? Like, I'm just confused. Like, things that crack me up are like instant oatmeal too. When I learned how to cook oatmeal, unless you're doing steel cut oats, I was like, wait, it only takes 5 minutes to make oatmeal? Like, I was so confused. I understand that you're adding flavors in and stuff. But like, I'm like, how, like, what are we like, it's like interesting. You're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it takes 2 minutes instead of 5 minutes. Like, I was like, this whole time, that's all I had to do.
They had a team of scientists trying to make sure how to make it shorter and quicker.
Yeah, guys, it only took 5 minutes, like, all along. So like, I don't know, but they really saved us time with that one. Yes, and I agree. Why are seeds so inconvenient? Just eat around them.
Yeah. I do like. I know we're just throwing things out here, but I do like pretzels of all varieties of pretzels. Pretzel rods, regular pretzels, pretzel bagel chips, pretzel everything.
I mean,
do you like the honey wheat ones?
I don't. I like those. I like.
Then you just lied.
I like those big Bavarian, like you buy them and they're in like an old school box with like a bag.
And they like crack your tooth.
The tooth crackers.
I like those. I like those. Yeah.
I like a fresh pretzel the most. I do like Oh, you know what? Are really talking about sweet snacks. Chocolate covered pretzels are so good. If you get a really good chocolate covered pretzel, that's one of my favorite sweet snacks. Sweet and salty.
I'm a sucker for those. What's the one at the airport that they have they're drenched in butter and salt? The pretzel bites.
Those are good
those
too.
Are really good.
Like a hot, fresh baked pretzel. Have you guys ever had those sesame snacks from Trader Joe's specifically? They're like little fried. It sort of reminds me. They're so good. They're deep fried. I'm pretty sure.
Of the feed. It was like there was a snack mix that we used to get as a kid
that had something like it in it. They're good though.
Super rare. The sesame sticks. They're sesame sticks.
They're little fried sticks of I don't know. There's just fried sticks with sesame seeds on it, and they're savory, but there is a hint of sweetness. I can't quite. Mm-hmm. They're really good though.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that it's just a deep fried sesame snack. If you haven't had it, you should try it. If you're a pretzel liker, I think you'd like them.
You've had it.
It's in bar mix, and the bar mix is 95% garbage. And then there's 5%, those little sesame sticks, maybe less than 5%. And so you're eating the garbage in the bar mix to get to those little sesame sticks.
Trader Joe's does have a great variety of snacks. Really good, snacks you can only find there. Yeah. I go there specifically for their snacks.
Yeah, they do have a lot of snack options. That, you know what, talking about the bar mix, it's interesting because when you get a snack mix with all of the nuts and a mixed nut mix, you just want to pick out the nuts that you like. But if you're only served, if you're stuck with only peanuts, somehow peanuts now taste good. But if you're served peanuts mixed in with other nuts, it's the nut that I will avoid at all costs. But if someone hands me a packet of peanuts, I'll be like, ooh, these are so tasty.
Yeah, one kind of psycho puts their hand in a mixed nuts and just eats all of them at once. You have to go through the ones you like.
You have to methodically pick them out. Well, nowadays there's no mixed nut bowls anywhere except for in your own private home.
Shut your eyes and just pour it in your mouth.
But
you're not a psycho who's I just like Brazil nuts.
I just bought a bag of Brazilian nuts.
No, you didn't.
They're quite good. I'll show them to you. Hold on.
Those are the worst nut. It's the worst nut. The Brazil nut, it's awful. It
Why
tastes
did
like
he
metal.
go for
terrible.
just Brazil nuts? Why'd you do that, Joey?
Yeah, why would you do that?
See, here's this
What's the matter with you?
Wow.
Crazy.
That's interesting.
fucking guy.
Have you, like, the most
I'm gonna have some right
indulgent
now.
is when you get just a giant pack, and they're really expensive, of macadamia nuts, like salted macadamia nuts. They're so good, but they're so fatty that you do feel really like after you've eaten them, you're like, what have I done? But I know it's good fat, but you really only need to eat a really small handful, and because you don't eat them a lot, you're like, I'll just keep eating them.
And they're delicious,
They're
it's
so
like butter.
good.
It's like butter in a nut form. Yeah,
And then you find yourself like the texture is something like nothing else is quite like it. So then each one I'm like pondering the texture, and I'm like, I better have another one. And I'm like, it's really interesting. Just keep on eating them.
I have to, if I have macadamia nuts, I have to portion them out intentionally. Otherwise I will get sick.
They're so good.
I used to go, I would go to, because Trader Joe's has such a great nut selection. I would go and I would make my own mixed nut thing. But the problem was that they were because they had different seasonings and flavors and stuff, it would all get mixed together and it wasn't the same. I had this idea that I was going to make this perfect mixed
mix,
combination. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. My plans are foiled.
You guys ever roast, do just where you roast and flavor your own nuts at home? It's so simple and so good. We've made sweet nuts, if Trader Joe's has the little baggies they sell, they're pretty expensive too, of pecan sweet nuts. And I'm pretty sure there's a zillion copycat recipes, but you can make them at home. And, we'll get the packages of pecans from Costco, wherever, where it's a value. And then you can make them. And the smell in the house too, when you make them, is not very many of them last. It's hard, even if you're not a sweet person, just the scent of them being made, you're like, oh yeah, you just start picking them. But there's also there's an almond recipe. I think I went to Gloria Ferrar, the sparkling winery up in Sonoma once, and they had a recipe and they gave it out for their almonds, and it's super easy. And man, it just elevates the snack. And it takes 10 minutes to make a roasted almond with some flavors on it. So good. I'll send you guys some recipes.
That sounds delicious. Yeah.
Really good. Sweet and savory.
Do you guys want Thrillist did a top 99 snacks of all time.
Sure.
Do you want to hear his top 10? Okay. I mean, it's fairly close to probably what we've talked about. So, number 1 is Doritos.
Number 1, that's
Doritos.
Number 2 is Oreos.
They said Doritos. Okay.
Yes. 2 is Oreos. 3 is Pringles.
We didn't talk about Pringles. I love Pringles.
Oof. We did not. 4 is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. 5 not
I have a question.
Fish.
Candy. I used to love candy when I was a kid, but I find it very unsatisfying now. Except for peanut M&Ms, every other a candy bar, I don't like it. It's just too sweet and too bleh.
I like sweet and salty things.
Yeah, on occasion I'll think it's a good idea, and then I'll get 3 by 3.
I want a little bite,
even a Snickers. I loved Snickers, but now I'm just I would rather have a good piece of nice salty chocolate with an almond in it than a stupid candy bar. Okay,
I agree.
Sorry.
You're good. 6 Cheetos.
Cheetos are a weird one. Yeah.
7 M&Ms. Let's see. 8 Cheez-Its. 9 not Joey Haribo gummies. And 10 is Fritos.
Chips.
So I gotta bring up
those are the top 10 companies in terms of distribution and channels. Right. Oh, you're probably right. It's probably 2 companies, right?
I want to bring up a chip that we haven't talked about yet that I just don't buy, because if I buy it, I will eat the whole thing.
Ooh.
But
what is it?
They're the Hawaiian chips. The ones that have I don't know what is on those chips.
Yeah.
out of all the potato chips, it's like, I mean, there's like kettle chips are great. Like I'm not saying our homemade chips are great, but those Hawaiian chips, is it Hawaii sweet Maui onion Hawaiian chips specifically?
Either
Sweet Maui, yeah.
And the regular are really good too. Oh my gosh, those are so good. Just had to throw that out there.
It's that special Hawaiian breeze.
They made a Korean barbecue Hawaiian chip that was quite good.
Really?
Yeah.
Korean barbecue chip.
I bought like a 30-pack of Tim's kettle chips from Costco, and I went through it in like a week, less, like 5 days.
I don't think I know
all 40
kettle
bags.
chips.
Tim's is amazing. Tim's is amazing.
You said that in the beginning. I was like, I don't know.
They make a jalapeno. The jalapeno chip is the best jalapeno kettle chip I've ever tried. And then the sea salt and vinegar one is amazing. And just the regular flavor is pretty good as well.
Here's a question. What do you think is your most unusual snack that you like? Like that other people would deem
just
kind of
Brazil nuts, you know? I mean, that's...
He's already solidified that one. I'm trying to think of what, I mean, I feel like we're really drawing a blank on this one, guys. What is my weirdest snack?
I know I stumped you.
I mean,
so one I like bread and butter pickles.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Those are
I like
sweet.
To just, eat them out of the jar and just.
That's a good one.
That's kind of one of mine.
I mean, I'll eat like pepperoncinis, but I don't think it's so weird. But I do like a good pepperoni on occasion from the jar.
I have a weird snack. I love anchovies right out of the can. So I'll open up a can of anchovies or sardines and just take a fork and just eat it.
Wait, will you eat sardines too?
Yeah.
Because we like over the pandemic, we kept on trying to order anchovies so we could make like, I don't know, a bunch of different dishes with the anchovies. But every single time they only gave us sardines. So we just have like 6 cans of sardines. And we were like, I don't know what to do with the sardine can. Anyways, side note, maybe I'll ship them to you.
It comes from like I think it's like my Eastern European side. You know, it's like I just always want those weird pickled, weird fishy can. You know, that's what I like.
Yeah, fish and can combined turned me off.
It was a meat, so it's a cured meat. It's called lardo, and it's
I know lardo.
It's cured fat, so it's almost 100% fat, and it's really delicious if you can get it sliced super thin, super filling. Obviously, it's kind of like if you think about pork belly, it's like just the fat part, but it's cured. So if you know, like salami has the little white circles in it, it's as if you get a loaf that's all the stuff that makes up the white circles. Okay, it's delicious, but you can't find it many places. They sometimes like high end butchers will have it. So I found it online that you could order it, and I ordered minimum, and it was like 5 pounds, and it was this giant brick, and I was like, okay, great, fat. And so I tried to slice it, but I couldn't slice it thin because I don't have a meat slicer, and so it's like these big chunks. So I could eat like 3 pieces, and then I would be kind of sick to my stomach. But I liked it too, and I found it very conflicting, and I ended up throwing it all away because it was just too much of a pain to eat right. But it was a weird snack that I think could have been good, but I just was like, I give up.
There's I don't know if it's there anymore, but there's a place in the Ferry building.
That's where I used to get it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and they would cut it and slice it there for you, and it's so amazing.
And it was great.
So good.
Yeah. It needs to be like just a delicate, like paper thin piece, and then it's really nice on a cracker or on a piece of salami or something. But
it brings up something a little unrelated, but I came home once and there was a really large box on my doorstep, and it was like keep cold and all this jazz, and it was huge, and like Darren didn't tell me anything was coming, and I was working all day, and I opened it up. And it is just a giant fish. Like, I was like, why the fuck do we have a fish at our doorstep? And he's
happened to me today, Sarah, but go on.
Oh, really? Okay. And, so I was like, and he's like, oh, yeah, I wanted to make sashimi. And he like had like this like special tuna flown in from like Hawaii or something that like you could order. You know, there's lots of different services that will send it online that's as fresh as possible so that you can like cut it and eat like sashimi. Right. And he's like, oh, it's like these great cuts of like, and I was like, okay, like what do I do with these? Like, we'll get it in like a coat. And I'm like, I would have liked some prep, like just like, hey, a giant fish is coming to our house today and we need to get it like in. I mean, it was really good, but it also was a lot. I think we were a little overzealous in the amount of meat that it was going to provide, and you got to eat it really quick, right? So it has a short lifespan. And so we're like, come over, you have to eat. We have like ahi, you got to eat it now. So it was kind of fun, though. It was a one-time experience.
Yeah, so I was at work today at my office, and Sarah sent me a photo of this box that had arrived. It was like with dry ice, and she opens it up, and it's 20 pounds of like Alaskan cod. And she goes, what is this? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, who's sending you 20 pounds of cod? And she looked at the company online. It was like a $200 box of fish. And like, why are you getting fish sent to you? And I don't know. So just looking up
who's sending you fish?
Dictionary, like what if codfish has like a deeper symbol, like someone's sending a message. And the number one is that you have a smelly vagina, which I thought I was probably eliminated from. That's the number one definition on Urban Dictionary.
Smelly fish, so that's interesting. But okay.
And then apparently codfish is a term for someone who lives on the East Coast. Codfish is someone who's salty, whatever that means. And then a codfish is someone who's good at Call of Duty. And I'm like, I actually think the first definition may be closest to me. The other ones I definitely don't qualify for. But so we had to call the company to be like, why did you send us a box of fish? It turns out my mom was in Alaska like a couple weeks ago on vacation and ordered it for us and didn't bother to tell us that she sent us a box of fish.
Well, that was very nice.
It was very nice. I go, why wouldn't you tell me to expect this delivery of all this fish so I could at least make sure I'm home to receive it?
You make a great point. That's all I wondered is why did I not know that a fish was coming to my doorstep today? Like that was it. Like I was like, I just needed to know about the fish.
Do you have any plans for this fish? Like I want to know what you're going to do.
We're going to bake some. We're going to probably do some fish and chips, some fish tacos.
Yep. A good fish.
Sarah does a really great, like a miso glazed cod, which is nice.
Do you have a deep fryer at home?
I do, yes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yes.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, deep fryer is solid.
I want a fish taco right now so bad. Like a good deep fried, crispy.
Did all this food talk make you hungry?
I pretty much only use my deep fryer for Brussels sprouts. It's just like game over for Brussels sprouts. I have not been able to make good French fries in the deep fryer, if I'm honest.
Really?
I made donuts, beignets, good. But I've had a hard time making other fried things, like decent results on onion rings, but it's tough.
Have you tried frying?
But I should. And throwing them in the garbage.
What we don't? Do we not like Brazil? Is that on our worst Brazil nuts?
It's definitely the worst nut.
It might be.
Really?
No question.
I feel like it's a good nut.
No.
It's supposed to help with your virality.
Really?
Yeah. Doesn't it taste like metal? I feel like when I bite it, it like tastes like metal. No? Okay.
I feel like Brazil nuts, they never give you enough in the mixed nut packs. So I just,
that's because someone likes them and they're just trying to get rid of them.
So what's on our worst list?
Black licorice.
Ooh.
Black licorice snack.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Is it over? Are we done?
Is there?
Black licorice.
Is there a study? Like there's so many studies with like it's like cilantro, like you either love it or you hate it. Is there something like that with black licorice? Because I feel like it is the only thing I'm repulsed by. Like I really can't handle that flavor profile. But
Do you want to know something weird?
Yeah. That's one that will
my
make
daughter
me-
has that reaction to mint. So ever since she was like a baby, if we would put a like, sometimes we would, because it was so funny that we would be driving and like we'd sneak a piece of gum and start chewing it, and you could kind of like count down from 3, and then all of a sudden she'd be like, "It's minty, it's minty." And we thought it was hilarious because she was just like so repulsed by mint. So we'd like get her special toothpaste, and yeah, she can't. And then we looked it up, and it's like cilantro. It's like one of those things where there's like a genetic thing that makes mint disgusting to you. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
I'm right here. I can see that though, because I feel like cilantro and mint are similar. Like they're really like, I can see like a similarity. Not that
That's interesting. She eats cilantro, not mint.
Wow.
I love
yeah,
cilantro.
I like a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. But same with mint. If mint's overdone, I don't like it either. But black licorice, no. Keep it away from me. Anything in that.
Yeah.
Hate.
Anise,
and it's like
anything with anise flavor.
Yes, I don't like it. And they always start throwing it in things as like a specialty. Like whenever they try to get fancy with food, people like chefs are throwing it in, and I'm like, ugh. And then it's repulsive to watch people eat it and enjoy it. Like if you've ever seen someone like what is that? Like you're just like, how do
you do that?
How is it possible? It's hard to watch. Someone eat a black.
Even when that flavor's kind of like in a recipe, I don't even like the flavor of it. And I think
if you can smell it, it is.
Is anise have a black licorice flavor?
Yeah.
Using some. Yeah. I don't like that flavor either.
Yeah.
Coconut. Oftentimes, when coconut can be good, but oftentimes when they use coconut in things, it ends up tasting so artificial and not real.
Yeah.
So I also a lot of times biscotti. I don't like biscotti.
Huh. They often have. Sometimes people put anise in it, though. That might be why. Like an underlying, but not always. I don't mind eating them, but I can handle it. But sometimes it does have a little bit of that licoricey vibe to it. I don't know. Coconut,
What about I hate raisins. It's just a fucking snack. I mean, in general, but by themselves,
even if they're
just awful.
So, or Raisinets. How about Raisinets? I used to love Raisinets.
And I guess I
will tell you, I don't know if you guys know this.
More than Raisinets.
Raisins, though, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like dogs are really, grapes and raisins are very poisonous to dogs. And so we recently had a situation at our house where we made cookies with raisins, and my cousin was over, and she's only 2, so she was eating raisins, and we're really good. We keep the dogs out of the room. Anyways, dogs come back in the room, 1:30 a.m. or something. I get a call because I was there, and they're like, "Did you drop any raisins on the floor? The dog is sick." And I was like, "I don't think so." And they're like, "Did the baby drop raisins?" I was like, "I don't think so." And like everybody's panicking, were there raisins? Were there raisins? And I'm like trying to go back in my head, and I'm like, I looked at the floor. Were there any raisins? Other raisins? Other raisins? I'm like, we're eating like oatmeal cookies. Were there raisins? And they had to bring our dog, my parents' dog, to the emergency room, and the emergency room's like, unless we know for sure, and you saw a raisin go in his mouth, like you just kind of got to let him go through it, like wait a day. Otherwise you'll have to do induce him getting sick. And anyways, he ended up being okay. We actually don't think he ever ate a raisin, but if you have dogs, my dad was like, they gave us the raisins. He's like, don't bring the raisins back into my house. So like now they're like anti-raisins in the house.
Wait. Back it up. Are raisins bad for dogs?
Yes, they're poisonous for dogs. Yeah. There could be a dog. I think some dogs there's like a rare number of dogs that like it doesn't affect, but grapes or raisins like can kill a dog. So they're very like highly poisonous. So just know that. We knew that, and we were trying to be good. And chocolate.
Why you've been giving your dog a shit ton of raisins?
My dog will in our backyard. There's all these like grapes, fermented little pears that are falling from the tree, and my dog will just eat them like candy. So I'm thinking like if that's in the same thing.
I don't know about pears. I'd look into it, but definitely grapes. So watch that. But that totally side note. If you have dogs, don't let them eat grapes or raisins. But I do like raisins as a snack. I don't mind them. I like them. I like a mix of what is that? There's that Costco trail mix. We should bring this up. I haven't had it in years. It has like peanuts, raisins, and I think M&Ms in it. And maybe cashews.
Peanut butter M&Ms. Right.
And it's so good. Like, no one eats the peanuts. You love when you get to the M&Ms. Like, it's really good if you're like, it's so like, doesn't sound healthy, but if you're hiking, like, it's a great mix. Because like chocolate is so indulgent tasting. And you're just like, oh, it's so good. You guys know, yeah, I like that mix. I haven't had it in years, but it's good.
One other snack that I would put on kind of the similar pedestal as black licorice that I think you'll probably disagree with me on. Just olives. Anything with a black olive. Oh,
you're an anti-olive person, huh?
I am, yeah. They make me almost sick to my stomach to think about eating like a Kalamata olive or a green olive.
Wow.
But people love olives. That's a weird thing. Like, I feel like black licorice is more universally like detested, but olives for me are the thing that I think most people love, and I'm like, I can't even look at them. They make me sick.
So even like an olive tapenade where it's like all bunched, like they're all chopped up.
Tapenade.
I know. I love it too.
Yeah. I'm always at the olive bar in supermarkets, getting my olives in a plastic cup.
I can agree that there's olives that are kind of like spicy and bitter that can be a little off-putting, or like a flavor profile that's a little bit like, ooh, it's more of a bitter. But there's so many different ranges that I wonder, like you say you like a normal, not a normal, but like a black olive. So are there any other olives you'll eat, or that's it? That's where you stop. That's where you draw the line.
People make me try them all the time because they're like, you can't hate all olives. Try one, and I'll take a bite, and then I'll spit it out.
Interesting.
To, like, scrub my mouth. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Hey,
And because it's like an oily food, it sticks in your mouth.
And I hate olives.
Flavor does not leave.
Are you okay with olive oil, though?
Pretty much, yeah. It's fine.
Pretty much. So not if it has olives. So you like a lighter olive oil.
Some olive oil.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's real strong.
Some have like a light, yeah. Yeah.
I don't hate it.
Wow.
It's fine. Yeah.
Wow,
Kurt. About the texture too, and like sometimes if it has a seed in it, you can like accidentally bite into the pit, and
yeah.
I don't like olives.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, you gotta. And Kurt, you're the same. Can you eat olive oil, or like by itself, like dipped in, bread dipped in it or something, or tossed in something?
Yeah, I can do olive oil. But lately too, I've just been cooking with different oils too, like avocado oil or stuff that's got like a higher smoke point. Just because I'm learning more about all that stuff, and and some of the.
You gotten your bottle of ghee yet? Costco sells a nice bottle of ghee for your high your high.
You know what's so funny?
Temperature cooking.
I have 3 of those because I keep going to Costco thinking I don't have it, and I get it,
amazing.
and then I get home and I'm like, oh my god, because like
don't
when's
you hate
it gonna
that?
run out? Never.
Yeah, it lasts
it's like 10 pounds of ghee.
Time. It's like a lot of ghee.
That is great for making popcorn, actually.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never thought about that.
I usually use avocado oil too for most cooking, but for popcorn, I'll use the ghee. It's nice.
Huh.
I'm going to throw out a worse snack for myself, and this just comes from, I think, when I was younger and I would have to pick up my sister and your brother, Joey, from school. I would take them to get their snacks after school, and it would repulse me. We would go to 7-Eleven, and they would want is it icy or Slurpee? Slurpee.
I love Slurpees.
And then they would eat it with Funyuns, and the Funyuns smell. They would open it in my car, and I just cannot handle. And it like sit with like, ugh. And they'd be like Funyuns, and my sister, like she was little, and she'd be running around. She's always smelled like Funyuns, so like I don't like Funyuns. I don't even know if I've ever eaten a Funyun, but Mason, I'm disgusted by them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I hate Funyuns too. Mason, do you remember that time you came out to LA and you had like, it was like you drank a Cactus Cooler and ate this specific chip every day that you were out there?
Yeah. Fridays, it was the bacon, the potato skins chip. It was like this
TGI Fridays, chip and a Cactus Cooler every day, because there was a one of those one of those
vending machines.
Vending machines, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like the most novel and delicious snacks because I'd never seen them before in my life, and I was like, I don't ever want this to end.
Was that like a grapefruit? Was that like a grapefruity type of drink?
No idea. I think it was like a squirt kind of like baby, yeah, which is grapefruit. I guess, yeah.
I love squirt.
Yeah, it was like
so
an orangey.
It's one of my favorite soft drinks ever.
Yeah.
Squirt.
What? Here's one. Rice cakes.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
That's just diet food. That's diet food.
So
They're
bad.
pretty bad. I mean, it's tough because it's like if you ever go through a phase, which I'm sure we probably all have gone through a phase where you're like, I'm going to eat rice cakes and I'm going to put almond butter on them because that's what everyone's saying is really good for me. And people are like, how are you eating that? You're like, it's really good. It's crispy. And you're like trying to convince yourself. It literally sucks out all of the moisture that you it might be detrimental to your health.
And the life and your soul, it sucks it out of
They're
your
like just
body.
not. I mean, I guess if you have to eat a rice cake, one of the tiny ones, but what like the intimidation factor when you get one of those giant like whole rice cakes
like
and you eat one bite off and you're like, what am I gonna do with it? Like I can't eat this.
And the con job of rice cakes was that it was supposed to be good for you. Like you eat these and you're going to lose weight. It's low calorie, but it's just you're just eating carbs, I think, or is it? Yeah, it's just carbs basically.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's
puffed rice.
You might as well see.
So it was in everyone's home because they were like, "This is a healthy snack. This is a good snack."
Ugh.
Right.
Yeah, rice cakes are pretty bad. Like I don't think there's a good rice cake out there.
I don't think so either.
Try my rice cake. Well, maybe. I'm sure there's like a homemade version of a rice cake where it like comes hot, fresh, like, and someone's deep frying it. That tastes amazing. But that brings up a random snack that I do like. I know we're on ones we don't like, but I have to throw this out there. Fried plantains. I've had them where people slice them into little tiny like thin slices and deep fry it where they become crispy on the outside and put salt on it. And that's one of the most amazing snacks I've ever had. But I guess that doesn't fall under a snack listing because it is cooked. So swipe that away. Anyways, side note, snacks we hate. What else? Rice cakes, Funyuns. It's like I know there's things I hate. I
don't mind a Funyun.
What are those bars? Cliff bars? They're like a stick of putty.
You want to like them too.
Can we just put most of the fucking?
Oh God! Do you remember there was another bar? This was like
lose a tooth trying to bite it.
It was like the first iteration of the bar you're talking about, Mason. It was the Power Bar.
Oh no, Power Bar. That's what I was talking about. Power Bar.
That was one of the worst snacks ever created. It was what was it? It was just
it was like this sludge.
Yes.
Some amalgamation of some kind of
but hard.
And I eat it
like hardened sludge.
I eat it pre-workout. Like this is going to get me some sort of like edge, And
they tasted okay. I think it was the texture. It was all the texture was awful.
It was and it was just so hard to like get
in the
down.
mouth.
Like
yeah,
one of the driest things that you would ever eat. Yeah,
most of the energy bars are terrible.
But that was another thing where like they just try and and they put a ton of marketing. I remember Power Bar was they like sponsored every friggin' triathlon and every bike race and road race, and it was
we figured out how to concentrate calories.
Yeah.
What's our secret? Sugar.
I love how they've tied what they're doing to like giving you some sort of like performance edge in sports, like
Gatorade.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Wait, what?
It's crazy. This is called. Can we be honest about what we are? We're just a snack.
It's got what the plants crave: electrolyte.
You want a good snack? It's sort of tasty. Go for it. It's not going to make you do any better.
Brondo's got what the plants crave. You guys seen that movie?
Of course. You ever see that movie, Sarah?
Oh my God.
That was.
I don't think so.
Idiocracy.
Oh, yes, I did see Idiocracy was great. I just missed the reference, but yeah, no, Idiocracy is great. That was the water where they had the sweetened water, like
where the crops are dying.
That's what it was called. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why aren't you watering the crops?" And they're like, "We give him Brondo. It's got electrolytes."
Okay, I do remember that. We're not far from that, but yes, that's Idiocracy.
Closer every day. Oh.
So we've.
So I think we've.
I was just going to
go ahead, Joe.
Pivot. Go ahead, Kurt. You're.
Thinks we've covered it.
No, I think we've. I mean, I think we've probably. Yeah, we've covered a lot. So have we figured out? So I think we got.
Yeah.
Black licorice as our worst. Do we? Is chips?
I might go bread and butter. I mean, do we all have to agree?
I'm kind of on bread and butter.
I like bread and butter also because.
Yeah. I can get with that.
Because if you think about it, all these other snacks are just like they're taking bread and butter, hopefully, or hydrogenated corn syrup and vegetable oil.
Whatever.
And they're kind of trying to create the majesty of fresh bread and butter in a smaller package that you can take with you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just can't be beat. You can't beat it. Thomas Keller knew. It's bread and butter.
I don't even know if it was Thomas Keller. It was some chef. He was the
and to quote Thomas Keller once again.
Some
just kidding.
Guy Fieri.
Somebody knew. Somebody knew.
It's just bread. It was the wisdom of what he said. Yeah. Hey.
Emeril Lagasse.
Have you guys? On that note,
kids. I don't know.
It's actually quite easy to make butter. I made butter by accident once. Because I was trying to whip heavy cream and I walked away from our thing. Yeah, and it just kept whipping. Yeah. And I came back and I was like, that looks like butter. And I was like, oh, I made butter. So I just salted it. It was really good.
Right past whipped cream.
Yeah. And with a mixer, like you just walk away. And I was like, nobody ever told me butter. Like that's like, I just never knew. Like if you have a mixer, literally it's not hard to do. And you just add some salt. And then you're like, I have homemade butter now.
Do you know how to make cheese?
No.
Cheese is just cured. It's basically cured butter with salt. You add salt to butter.
Shit, guys, we could be doing all this.
Make it in a certain order. But it's crazy. It's just milk and butter. That's it.
Darren makes homemade yogurt. And that's like a whole thing. But yeah, that's it's not it's not hard. Yeah, but it's not too bad either. So whole other podcast again.
Is the store yogurt not? He doesn't like any of the regular store yogurt.
No, you know, it's okay. We can go down a whole yogurt.
I feel like the supermarket has so many different kind of yogurts. You don't need to do that anymore.
Okay, this is going to be so annoying, but we went to Greece. And when you have yogurt in Greece, it tastes nothing like yogurt here. And we were like, why and how? And so, you can get into if it's different, what animals it comes from, but they also often make it in these like clay pots that take all the moisture out. So it's really thick, like a cream. And so if you have that proper pot and you can make it at home, it comes out a lot thicker. It tastes so it doesn't have, sense. Yeah. So anyways.
Quality.
Yeah.
Plus, it's fun to make your own stuff.
So Sarah, you realize that your husband is coming across very extra. He's flying in sashimi from Hawaii and making his own Greek yogurt.
The sashimi thing was like 5 or 6 years ago, so it was a very long time ago, guys. It was very long. And the yogurt just happened in the last 2 years, so phases. But I appreciate them all because I get to reap all of like the benefits and rewards, so I can't complain.
Callie.
Yeah, I agree.
You're a lucky woman.
Anyways, that was my yogurt side note, guys. Awesome. Sorry.
There was one snack we didn't really talk about that deserves, at least a nod, which is avocado as a device.
Yeah.
That avocado by itself can be It can elevate bread. It can elevate chips. It can elevate all sorts of things. And it's a pretty good snack too. Yeah, you can eat it plain. And it's so rich and creamy, and avocado's a pretty kick-ass snack too.
Yeah.
And healthy.
Sure.
In that same vein, tomato, I think,
versatility
is pretty up there as far as like kind of in that where you can do it by itself can be amazing, and then obviously cutting it up and
get salsa.
I think that's got that.
We grew up
spaghetti sauce. You got
salsa
to elevate the bread. If you have a good bread, we grew up with just like fresh homegrown tomatoes sliced. You pour olive oil, salt, and then like homegrown dried oregano on top, and that's it. Like I know a lot of people put cheese and stuff, but if you just have a fresh tomato with salt and olive oil, and like you cannot, it literally on like a fresh bread has to be one of the best things ever.
Oh yeah,
food, guys.
A little olive oil and a little bit of truffle salt with some fresh bread. Delicious.
Could do that too.
And tahini.
And tahini. Just put tahini on top of it all. Just on top of it.
It would work.
Thank you for coming full circle, Base. That is exactly the way we needed to end this fucking podcast. tahini.